Skylar, I hear that you've been having some issues with a wheelchair that you've been trying to get. Explain a little bit about that situation.
Well, I've been trying to get a custom fit manual wheelchair with the powered assist on it because I have facial scapular humeral muscular dystrophy, so therefore I'm not a paraplegic and I have all my feelings and everything in my limbs, but with the type that I have, it really affects my shoulder muscles, so pushing a wheelchair, it's very strenuous on my shoulders, and so therefore the power assist will help me. We've been going through this process for about 5 months now and still haven't got any approval from Medicare. And when I was first in a wheelchair, they didn't have the power assist option. It was all the power wheelchair or the power wheels that go on it, and those are 52 pounds. So if your batteries die, you're lugging around those 52 pounds, and I physically cannot do that. So the option for me was to get a power chair. Well, now that this power assist came out, a manual chair would fit me better, because I'll still be able to exercise those muscles, but not to a certain extent that it will do damage. Well, luckily I do have a wheelchair accessible vehicle for a power chair, but anytime I go out with my family, that's where it becomes difficult because my car doesn't fit my whole family, and so therefore we would have to take 2 vehicles for me to have my chair. But if not, my family's the one that has to load everything and get it together, and it just makes me less independent and more dependent on my family, and that's not how I want to live my life. I'm a very independent individual and wants to do everything for myself and by myself as much as possible and not rely on them to have to help get me around and everything.
You have aspirations. Obviously, you're going to college. What are you going to college for?
I'm going to college to be a rehabilitation counselor, which I want to be able to help people with disabilities that live this day every day, to help them realize, getting into work, going and having a job and having their dreams fulfilled, having everything that they dream and aspire to be, that they can do it because of the fact we have all the steps in place that we need to have in place in the law and with insurance and getting everything we need in order to do that. And they always say that when you put someone with a disability into the workforce and they have a purpose, then that improves their quality of life.
What are some of the issues feedback you've been getting on why Medicare is denying you the chair that you're looking for?
I'm not disabled enough to them where I do go to school. I'm a full-time grad student working on a master's, and I go out and try to be independent as possible. I run into issues with that, but Medicare doesn't seem to see that. They see, okay, well, you're out, so therefore you don't qualify, you don't need it. It's all because I do too much things outdoors and not in the house as much, because I am one that likes to go out and I don't sit at home, do absolutely nothing with my life.
So are you telling me that they would approve it if you were going to just be using this chair in the home and for nothing else?
Yes. Well, one thing is, I know with insurance, they won't pay for 2 chairs, and which is really irritating because of the fact, yes, I'm in a power chair, but if parts break down, which most of the time they do break down, and we have to get more parts, and then insurance has to approve those parts to get more parts. So in that approval process to get more parts, if your chair's not working, you can't go anywhere at all. I mean, having that independence and the quality of life, having those parts and having our chair is what makes us live longer, because we have that quality of life. I mean, if all that's taken away and we don't have our independence and we don't get the parts that we need, a lot of us do end up giving up and be like, okay, I'm done. And then when you give up, they die at an earlier age because they don't have that independence. They aren't happy because they don't have the quality of life.